Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So we have an exciting video today. I'm pretty hyped about it, nervous but very excited about it. So without further ado, we're gonna get into our 2022 no-buy, year-long no-buy. We're gonna go through our rules. Hannah Lee's posted and inspired this from her videos, and I think it would be really good for us. So let's jump in. So to preface this, I know that we have done no-buy, low-buy videos before, and they have not always been successful. So, you know, we weren't really, I don't know that we were in the correct headspace at that point or really had the right mentality. At this point, we've really sort of written out our rules, and we're going to continue adding rules as our minds will think of loopholes if that craving to buy sets in. At this point, we've both recognized that our house in general, not just our makeup collection, but our house, too much stuff. There's too much stuff. It's not that it's dirty, it's just so cluttered. And so we're just kind of like, that's enough. Enough is enough. We need to get rid of things. We need to figure out how to organize this place, makeup, everything, kitchen. Yeah, we've got a lot to organize, and kind of our thought process and my thought process behind this was when Hannah in her video had mentioned that she realized midway through the year, like, I need to book a therapist. I'm using my spending to, you know, give me temporary, you know, happiness. Yeah. And that's something that makes sense, but I never truly recognized. And so I'm interested to see where this journey will take me mentally as well as financially. And so I think this will help with, number one, our makeup collection. As of right now, we had transitioned rooms, and so our makeup collection is stored in a different way, and the storage is not currently ideal. There's a lot of stuff just kind of hanging out in buckets. It's workable. We'll be fine with this. But we have a lot of makeup, and we're only 2 people. I know we have a makeup account and a makeup YouTube channel and a makeup TikTok. It's like we've been conditioned to believe that we need every single version of what we like. So like we have 5, 6 glowy lotion type products, you know. We don't need 5 or 6 of the same thing. Unless there's a difference in undertone or something that makes it worth it. There are differences, and there are things, you know, that I love more about some and less about others. But at the end of the day, we don't need that many variations of the same thing. And yeah, I mean, the entire storage container behind us, all of that is eyeshadow. Every last drop is eyeshadow. We have a bookshelf of eyeshadow. It's not like we want to be minimalists or anything either. I don't want to be necessarily minimal with my makeup collection, because I do like doing makeup and I do enjoy that creative aspect of my life. But at the same time, on a day-to-day basis, I am wearing the same things over and over. This is the most bold I have gone with my makeup, like, in a while, at least for the day-to-day. And I'm trying to get more into doing color on a more day-to-day basis, just because I know, like, I feel good, and like, why would I deprive myself of looking TF good in whatever I do? But at the same time, I can get ready in 15 minutes also. So it's like sleep, or, you know, like what am I sacrificing here? And sometimes it's just not worth it to do something crazy. So I don't need to keep buying things that will make me, you know, wear crazy eyeshadow, because guess what? I'm not wearing it. Not very often. Yeah, and so something that Hannah had said in the video that made a lot of sense, and so our best friend Liv, who lives here, she is also going on a no-buy, not for makeup. She doesn't have a makeup problem. She has a makeup problem with the makeup we give her. But she, you know, goes out to eat too much, and she's spending too much on clothes, or, you know, what have you, non-necessities that she doesn't have room for, basically, is the issue. It's not just that she's spending, but she's spending too much. And so she's joining in on this with us, which I think will be really, really helpful as well, just to have a third party helping us, and we are there to help her. But Hannah had said, you know, every time somebody's like, I'm doing a low buy or a year-long no buy, wish me luck, or hopefully I can do it, that's not the verbiage that I'm going to be using. That's not the attitude we should have going into this. No, and honestly, I'm not that concerned as of right now. I'm sure that midway through this, I'll start getting I think 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months are going to be the hardest. And then once we pass that year, we'll be good. So let's just get into our rules really quickly. We have makeup, clothes, nails, and eating out just kind of in here, so we might as well throw it all together. So my first thing that I'm going to mention is I will allow one brush set purchase throughout this year. So because we need to do a brush revamp pretty bad, a lot of ours are falling apart, the barrels are coming off.
We don't use half of them.
Yeah, so we need to go through our brushes and, you know, sort through them, what ones we use the most, what ones we use the least, and declutter. However, just based on the amount of eyeshadow we wear, we need a lot of brushes because I'd be lying if I said we had time to wash them every day. We probably do, but I'm not going to put that at the top of my priority list, and I know that about myself.
And we've also found out that we really, really like refer brushes, and so I wouldn't be upset if we had another, you know, bundle of at least eye brushes specifically from a brand that I really, really, really love the brushes of. You know, like we have my Morphe brushes work just fine. I like my Morphe brushes. I like my Odin's eye brushes. I like my little Real Techniques and Moda and
I love my Real Techniques.
I love my Eco Tools. I love my Eco Tools. But they serve a different function, and we are lacking in that area a little bit. And when we use a refer brush, we generally are doing it for a more complex eye, so we generally need a multiple of it. And maybe that's poor reasoning on our part, but I really don't think that's a huge deal to buy one brush set this year.
Yeah, so that's my rule. I'm allowed one brush set.
And I'm not in on this rule. This is not something I would be doing.
So that's just me for my own personal sake and kind of just wants and something that I may foresee myself needing. Need would be a stretch, but need in the realm of what we do.
What is
in the makeup
actually
area.
Functional for us.
Yes, something that would not be a waste. Now, so no buying makeup outside of birthday and Christmas gifts. So that's twice through our no buy that we can purchase makeup.
And even then we are
going to set a budget.
We're going to set a lower budget, and we're going to probably set an item limit because this year Rachel got me a lot of really wonderful products, but a lot of blush. A lot of blush. And we don't need to do that going forward.
Yeah. So, not to mention, if you guys watched our haul, there were like 12 blushes in there. I also bought the pack of the mini Rare Beauty ones. And also the Freck one that we forgot to mention. So I bought way too much blush because I was buying without tracking what I was buying, and we love blush. So that was on me, my bad. So those are the 2 times, but we will set a budget. And I also think that we'll probably be smarter about kind of asking like, okay, in what area would you like me to purchase? Do you want eyeshadow? Do you want base products? Like, what do you want kind of thing? Just to make sure they are smart gifts. Next rule is we can repurchase something, but only if we're out of that category. So I have 4 or 5 concealers. Just because I run out of my favorite, my Kosas concealer, doesn't mean I can go out and buy that Kosas concealer. I now need to go through the rest of my concealers or declutter the rest of my concealers before I can do that. Because the goal is to get rid of clutter and shut down our obsessive spending. So if I'm just adding to the clutter, it's not worth it. So I have to force myself to get rid of everything else if I want to buy another, meaning there will be no eyeshadow palettes bought this year outside of birthday or Christmas, possibly.
And even then, I think we're going to limit it to 1.
Yeah, so we probably will not be getting a lot of eyeshadow outside of maybe some PR from like Odin's Eye or Kaleidos.
Yeah, PR we are still accepting. We are still accepting makeup that we will receive for free. Even though that does add to the clutter, hopefully once we get a good idea of what we want to keep and what we don't, it's not going to be too much. And even then, I think we're realistically going to look at the items that we get in PR and say, do we want to keep this or not? You know,
as well as, you know, especially as a small channel that isn't making really any money, a little bit of money, but new releases do get good views. They do. And so there's no reason for us to say, no, we can't even get new releases when we're still in the process of trying to build our channel and our brand. So I'm not going to shut that down. If in the future I feel that's necessary, I will, but I don't feel that we're going to be added to 300 PR lists this year. So I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe we'll blow up. That would be cool. But
Huda Beauty can hurry up.
Yeah, Huda, you can check us out.
Still accepting makeup PR. That's really all there is to it because there's really not much else to say.
As far as we're concerned, there's not a ton else to say. yeah, I mean, there's no way that I'm going to go through some of my favorite products this year, you know, aside from maybe base products. I don't think so. So I'm going to be, you know, pulling things my goal is to shop our stash a little more and to pull things in and test them out and say, do I want to keep this or not? Like, is this adding to the clutter in my life, or is this benefiting me in any way? You know, what am I getting from this?
Yeah.
Hey, Raisin. And sort of go from there. And I definitely want to, you know, work really hard. Sorry if you can hear that, our windows are drafty.
Can you feel the fucking breeze, dude?
Yeah, it's cold.
Oh my god.
We just really, really want to successfully do this. And I mean, we are going to successfully do this. And that's sort of the change in mentality. And I'm very much a, you have control over your life type of person. That's the kind of person I'm aiming to be anyway, that I'm striving to be. And of course there are things that are out of my control, but the things that I feel, the things that I do, I have complete control over. Whether or not I am doing the right things to, you know, have that control correctly is a whole different story. But that's sort of what I'm going for. And I think doing this is going to help me even more, like, believing in myself a little bit, I guess, instead of excusing my poor behaviors for, you know,
The channel.
for our makeup channel, you know? Like, we've just been sold this lie over and over and over that you need everything in order to be successful on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever. That's
Project
not
Planners
true.
prove that's a lie.
Project Planners prove that's a lie, and I have made content with things that are not new that does well.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yes. The one rule that I haven't written down yet, we cannot use our Ulta points on makeup.
Correct.
So I was really debating on this one because I was like, well, it's not my money. However, I can use my Ulta points to buy skincare. I can save my Ulta points until after the no-buy, maybe. I don't know
You
how
can
long
use it
it'll
for the
last.
birthday or Christmas, too. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's
that
just...
would be the exception, but...
The thing that I know will happen is if I go in 3 months, I'm like, okay, well, I have $180 in Ulta points, so let me just buy a little bit of makeup. What's gonna happen from there is I'm gonna break the no-buy because that's my loop.
We're gonna get that high.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get that purchase high, that serotonin boost. And we're gonna be like, oh, fuck, that's good. And we're gonna keep going for it.
Yep.
And that's not the goal.
Nope.
That's not what we want. We don't want more clutter. We don't want to be actively getting makeup for ourselves.
We want to be actively using makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the rules for makeup. Again, we will revise and add as we go. We'll probably do like every few months a check-in on how we're doing, how we're feeling, what we've kind of seen financially for ourselves and what we've seen mentally for ourselves, what we've used up in that time, all of that good stuff. So I'm really, really, really excited about this actually. Like, I'm super inspired. I'm super happy. I think this is going to benefit me greatly. Now, we did do a clothes category because for Vic specifically, I don't find this is the case for myself much, but for Vic specifically, she finds that when we're on no buys, she buys a lot more.
I will supplement. I will supplement my lack of makeup buying with buying anything else possible.
And so we put a limit on clothes. So the reality is a lot of times when we go into summer, we need new clothes. Reason being, we do a lot of clothes declutters. We are small, skinny, fragile people, and our clothes last us 10 plus years for that reason. And so a lot of the clothes we own are from freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Like, they're very old, and so we do have to throw away a lot of them, or we have to decide, am I going to wear this? Let me go ahead and donate it. You know what I mean? Throw away is just a blanket term. We do donate things. But so for summer clothes shopping is what we put on here. I guess I could also extend this category into each season since it will be lasting a year. So we'll just kind of see how we go, but we can only do 2 in each category. So 2 pairs of shorts, 2 dresses, 2 t-shirts, 2 tank tops, 2 shoes. If we are needing a replacement, so like for me, I'll probably need to replace some swimsuits this year. My body's fluctuated a lot within the last few years. And so my swimsuits are kind of, I don't know what they're going to be like every year.
So is mine. And I make the mistake of ordering swimsuits online thinking they're going to fit me, and they never do because I'm a very, very tiny person. And most of the swimsuits I had, we got after I had Charlotte. And so I have nursing boob swimsuits. And everything else is either too small or really old and like ugly now, honestly. So we need to purge, and then I don't need a lot because I don't swim a lot, you know, like that's not something I need to buy necessarily a ton of, but I would like to get 1 top and 1 bottom swimsuit wise that just fit me well and look nice.
yeah, that you're confident in, that
Yeah.
you're happy about. I've got a couple swimsuits that I could probably keep into this year, but most of them I would say need to go at this point because they're old. So we can buy replacements. So I'm gonna extend that for winter and summer, not fall and spring. How's that sound? 2 seasons?
That works. But I do want to, I'm only going to go into that if I am lacking something specifically,
Yes.
you know? And I do want to make it like, if I'm going to buy a pair of pants for the winter or something like that, or like a new pair of jeans or a new pair of shorts, I want to get something that's going to be like timeless in a sense.
High
Like
quality.
something that's high quality and it's going to last me and is very much my style. And I have this habit of buying fast fashion because it's more affordable, and I know you can tell me all you want. I know. I get it. I heard it. I saw it on Twitter. I see it everywhere. Listen, it does not outperform the convenience that happens when I buy fast fashion.
I mean, it's just like earrings. You can buy an earring set or a necklace for $1 or $2 on Shein, and it does the job for that look.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try my best to not get into the fast fashion, because then I can reason with myself and be like, oh well, I can buy more because it's more affordable. That's not what I want to do. I want to buy, like, I really want a pair of really nice black pants. I don't know what style yet. That's not something I'm looking at quite yet now, but like I'm going to be thinking about it very heavily going forward. And I really just want to think through for a long time my purchases, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So the reason I said 2 in each category versus a price limit is because, again, our goal would be to kind of shop more. You know, it doesn't have to be luxury by any means, but something a little bit higher quality. I don't need to go to Target to buy the sweater that I want when I know the sweater I want from Target's going to be ripped next year when I put it back on. So I want to make sure that what I'm buying is high quality, it's going to last me, it's not a waste of my money.
Yeah.
Because a year is not a long time for a sweater to last. It's just not. It's not enough for me to spend $40, $60, $80 on a sweater. It's just not. So that's why I want to do that. And then I did say, again, replacements are okay, but I need to declutter. So by this I mean next winter, when we decide that we need some more sweaters, we need to go through and declutter a lot of our sweaters because we have a lot of sweaters. And me, myself, personally, I've been slowly trying to declutter my closet because I wear the same 5 or 6 tops. I don't branch out much. And the fact that we have 2 full size, when I say walk-in fucking closets, full to the brim of shirts and dresses, when did I wear that? 6 years ago?
And then you look at it and you're like, oh, but I wore that one time, like,
it looks so good.
3 years ago, and I really felt great in it. And then every time you look at it, you pass by it. It's like, then why are you keeping it? Why are you keeping it?
So
it's very rare that I get rid of a clothing item and then miss it afterwards. It's happened, but it's not enough for me to justify keeping everything.
no, nor to go out and buy that item again.
Yeah, I'm in the process of purging my closet.
So that's something that I want to work on. For nails, I put a little asterisk saying if nails become an issue. So right now I've just got quick little press-ons hat on, but a lot of you guys know that I really, really love doing my own acrylics. I'm not comfortable filming that quite yet in my life just because I am still a very, very, very habitual nail biter and nail picker along with my cuticles. And it's to the point where I shouldn't be putting acrylics over them, but I do anyway because they're my nails and my nail beds will suffer, not yours, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's why I'm not posting it online, because I know exactly the reaction I'm gonna get and I'm not willing to feel insecure about something that I'm already insecure about. So there's that disclaimer out of the way, but this is only if it becomes an issue, because what I want is to be able to kind of fall in love with a lot of the categories that I have continued to love. So instead of, going out and buying a bunch of makeup to play with, I can go ahead and use the nail stuff I already own and create a pretty set of something I saw online with a crazy design that takes me 5 hours. Like, I can take my time to do that kind of thing. However, I can see myself going overboard and buying more nail things that I don't need.
Yeah, being like, oh, well, I could do this one, but I need this color and this type of gem and this like sticker and blah, 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 blah.
So I want to make sure I'm being careful about that. So I said no more than $50 a month on nails if they become an issue. I don't foresee myself even hitting that limit. But Liv does her nails here as well, and monomer you can go through kind of fast. So I wanted to make that high enough where if I needed to purchase a couple monomers, I could. And then define an issue, because I said if it becomes an issue, and then I decided later maybe I should define what an issue is. And placing more than $100 order at more than 2 months in a row, basically. So if I'm spending $200 in 2 months on nails, I know that I need to cut back, because there's no reason. Again, I just was able to condense all my nail stuff into a couple of drawers. I don't want to clutter that, because those drawers are already very packed. So I wanted to make sure that I hold myself accountable in that way. And then we also have eating out, which isn't really a problem for us.
No, we tend to...
It goes through phases.
It does go through phases. So I've just realized that I've started eating healthier the last, I don't know, 4 days. Like, but I do kind of feel like a fresh start. And it's funny because this wasn't like a New Year's resolution. It just kind of fell around the New Year's. I started like 2 days before New Year's. But still, I've been eating healthier. And so even before that, I was eating a little bit healthier. But what I've noticed is if I go to somewhere like McDonald's, because listen, I love High C Orange from McDonald's.
Me too.
Freaking bomb. So good. But that's all I want. Like, I'll go and I'll order a meal for myself, and I eat some of it, and I'm like, I feel like crap and I don't want this. I want to chug my High C Orange. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Everything else I don't want. And I mean, I have like Starbucks gift cards that I'm going to use. Like, I'm not going to let those go to waste for no reason. But we definitely want to make more food at home, get more creative with our meals, branch out, try new things.
Start baking again.
Yeah, I had a quick cake phase that I really want to get back into. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, we can do things without overspending.
Yes.
We can find hobbies. I can read a book.
I also think that this will be really, really fun in terms of, shop my stashes. Like actually shopping through your collection, because if I look through the palettes back there, I go, oh, I haven't used this palette in a year. Is there any reason there should be an untouched fucking palette for a year?
No.
No, there's no reason, all right? This is not I'm not Jamie Genevieve. I'm not Samantha Ravindell.
I'm not Nikki fucking Tutorials.
Or Rob Beauty Christie, okay? Or Jackie. Maybe I should... Jackie Ina. I said everybody else's last name. Jackie Ina. I'm not Nima Tang. I'm not all of these freaking people that have all of this makeup because they do that for their job. And
we don't do this for our job. We do this as a hobby because we enjoy it.
And even if we did,
that doesn't mean that that's what's right for us just because other people do it.
Yes, I think that if we were to make this a full-time thing, I would probably set aside specific areas for makeup storage. So whether it's a literal full room or whatever, that way it's out of the way, kind of in the way that I feel Khaki does it. Because Khaki, I really like her, like what she says. She's like, I don't want all of this, but it's good to have these things to reference at any point. And so for that reason, that makes sense. And that could be a possibility in our future, but
we don't do a lot of like in-depth reviews either. So for us, that probably doesn't make sense. We do a lot of chatty videos. We do some tutorials. That's mainly what we do.
Just
is
like
chatty
playing. We just like playing. I don't have the time in my day to sit here and write out an entire game plan for a video that's going to take me 6 hours to edit. I don't have the time in my day. We did that with the Cleona video, and that was a wonderful video, and it's done really, really well. However, did it do really, really well just because it was Cleona? Yes. Yes. What our other videos? Really well either. Yeah, our other videos with Cleona have done just as well with a fraction of the information. So, you guys will have to let us know what you prefer, but the reality is that I like to sit down and film when I want to sit down and film. I like to sit down and play with makeup when I want to sit down and play with makeup. Turning it into something so precise and tedious makes it not fun.
And also turning it into a requirement, it turns out being, it ends up being like stress,
Yeah.
It's like just one more thing. Like I get home from work and I'm overwhelmed and I'm tired and I'm stressed because the house isn't clean, and I'm like, shoot, we have to film a video or we won't meet our 1 upload a week that we're starting right now. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And we want to upload more consistently, and that's, part of our goal going into the new year. But in order to do that, I need to have less shit to do. Yeah. And currently, as it stands in our house with all of the clutter and all of the things going on in life and everything else in the world,
We have too much shit to do.
there's too much stuff to do. And I want to keep myself busy, and I want to play with makeup, and I want to film it, and I want to put it on the internet. But I also don't want to have to perfect everything that I do just to upload it to Instagram, you know?
Anyway, rambly as always. What can we do? That is our no-buy video. You guys will have to let us know, you know, if you guys are doing a no-buy or a low-buy, what your rules are, how do you think it's gonna go for us.
And also let us know of other content creators you know that are doing low buy or no buy content. Not necessarily panning, but I'm always down to watch project panners as well. But any sort of content that's like
panning related or like less waste related, or
yeah, anything that you find to be like inspiring a little bit, you know, to get you in a good mood, like even like a good clean with me channel. That could be pretty dope, I think. I don't know. I've never watched one, so we'll see. But
yeah, good things like that. But just please, if you could refrain from saying things like you guys aren't going to make it and good luck. Twitter did that, and you guys are all my friends, and I love you all so much.
And I laughed.
And I laughed, yes. They were funny. I'm not hurt by them by any means. I just want to keep it only positive when we're talking about this, just to give me the best start that I can have,
yeah.
You know? So if you could refrain from being negative in any way, if you skipped the end of the video, then I guess I'll forgive you. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you look forward to lots of painting and less spending content going forward. Bye.
Oh, jinx. Good timing. Shit.